What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Thank you for watching the video. Today we have another body armor test for you guys. And before we get started, I just want to say every time we do one of these videos, it hurts my soul to destroy this stuff. I love body armor. Some of these products are extremely cool, and we're probably well into the double digits on vests and plate carriers that we have destroyed at this point. But for scientific purposes, I guess you got to do it. So today we have an interesting one. This is the Safe Life Defense Hyperline Concealable Bulletproof Vest. This is a bit different than a standard bulletproof vest because it's designed to be as thin as possible so that you can wear it discreetly under your everyday clothing. And you can probably tell just by looking at it, it is a very minimalist design. We have two extremely thin and lightweight body armor panels on the front and back, connected with Velcro straps and Safe Life's logo right there on the front. That's about it. They also provide a little booklet with testing results for different calibers that kind of tells you what you can expect out of this vest depending on the caliber it's shot with, which is pretty cool. I have not seen that from other companies. Now, the Hyperline vest is level 3A, so it's rated for most handgun calibers up to a .44 Magnum. And by the way, like, over 90% of shootings in this country are committed with handguns. So in most situations, level 3A would be enough to save your life. And we have tested concealable armor in the past, but I think this is probably the most concealable bulletproof vest we've ever tested on this channel. So I'm excited to see how it performs. And one more thing I want to touch on really quick is, like I said, we have tested bulletproof t-shirts and stuff like that in the past. There's also a couple we haven't done yet that I think will be pretty cool. But the ones we have tested were very basic. It was like a plain Hanes t-shirt with a pouch inside where you can put your body armor panels. The Hyperline vest I like a lot more because, number one, it wraps around your entire body, and number two, you can still wear your personal everyday clothing. T-shirts, hoodies, jackets, etc. It's not dependent on the clothing the company provides. Oh, and by the way, during that last clip when I was talking, I had on the Hyperline bulletproof vest under my jacket. Let me know, honestly, in the comments if you spotted it before I said something. I think unless you're really looking for it, no one is gonna notice this. Maybe with like a thin t-shirt, it would be a little more obvious, but with hoodies, jackets, slightly heavier clothing, this thing is very discreet. And we don't have a ballistic dummy today, so for this one, we are gonna use Ballistic Bob as our testing subject. I put the sunglasses on him for the thumbnail. He looks super cool right now, but I should probably take those off so they don't get completely destroyed. I hope soft armor on a rubber target is not a bad idea. I don't think it is. These vests are usually pretty good at catching the bullet. So I guess we'll find out. Good luck, Bob. All right, you guys know the drill. We're gonna start small and work our way up. First caliber is the .22 long rifle. Ruger Mark IV Light. I assume these sights are on. We'll just go for the center. I forgot how weak the .22 is. That felt underpowered, but I don't think it was. All right, we got a bullet hole right there. There it is. The .22 did not go through, obviously. All right, next up we have the 9mm. This is the Smith and Wesson M&P 9 Spec Series Metal 2.0. It's a mouthful. One of the nicer striker-fired pistols I've ever fired, so. Let's see what it does. I think they all hit him. All right, we got 1, 2, 3. So all of those did hit the vest. Flip it up. We've got one tear on the back, which is common with these soft vests. The other two didn't even tear the fabric on the back, but none of them came through. If they want, they can get a close-up look at that just to see that the bullet didn't actually come through. It's just a tear on the fabric. You can see it just ripped the fabric, but there's not an actual hole there. We got a dirty 40 Smith and Wesson. Looks like it's been in there for a year or two. Let's see if it stops it. I'm gonna try to put this one below the 9mm. Whew. big recoil difference, honestly. I can tell just by looking at the front, it's definitely a deeper hole than the 9mm. And it stopped it. Actually, not even as big of a tear as we had from the 9mm up here, probably because the vest was firmly up against Bob. But there it is. Stopped the 40 Smith and Wesson. All right, next up, we have the 12 gauge double-aught buckshot. I wanted to shoot this one before we flip it around and get out the bigger calibers. The gun is the Mossberg Shockwave 590S. This is going to be a handful with this little gun. Yep, that one got my finger. Let's take a look. Couple tears. Little bit of damage on Bob. But nothing came through the vest. Get a close-up of that just so they can see. It did tear the back of the vest, which again, with these vests is very common, but you can feel all the buckshot pellets in there. So, cool. I tell you though, with a soft body armor vest, that would be a painful round to get shot with. I love this thing. Boy, that sounds good, don't it? Even for a 12 gauge pump, that one sounds good.
Yeah.
They don't all sound like that.
That's one of them unmistakable.
Yep.
Even if you're not a gun guy, you know that sound.
Get off my lawn. All right, let's go. All right, before we flip this thing around, we're gonna go ahead and put a bullet in this magazine. Then we'll do it. Well, I brought the 10mm, but I forgot to bring ammo. So before we flip this thing around, we're gonna go ahead and shoot the 357 Magnum. Might not be quite as powerful as the 10, but it's a hot little round. Let's see what it does. Dead center. So that was a good shot. I was aiming right in the middle of that logo, and we actually hit it. That's rare for me with handguns. Oh yeah. All right, screw it. There it is. Did not go through. Obviously it did tear the fabric. At this point, we're probably gonna see every caliber tear the back of the vest, but it actually looks like it easily stopped the 357 Magnum. Cool.
I'm not gonna tell you what it looked like you were doing back there, but just saying, the way he was wiggling.
Hey, Bob's had worse things happen to him. And that little bit of damage I'd be doing back there. Now we get out the big boys. All right, we have rotated the vest to give us a fresh surface because next up we have the 44 Magnum. This is a 300 grain bullet and it's the biggest caliber level 3A armor is rated for. So honestly, with how thin and lightweight this vest is, I'll be impressed if it stops this round. But Taurus ultralight titanium 44 Magnum. Haven't shot this one in a while, and there's a reason for that. It sucks. Here we go. Whew. I'm nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I want it to work. But that is a hot round. Hopefully you guys saw the fireball. Take it off. Man, when you hold these body armor panels, it really is probably lighter weight than anything else I've ever held. But either way, there's the entrance hole right there. And if we flip it around, it stopped it. There is no exit hole. Obviously it tore the fabric, which you would expect with the 44 Magnum, but if you look at the Kevlar, it did not go through. That is pretty cool. All right, now I'm gonna try something I don't think I've ever tried on a level 3A vest. This is the 50 AE Desert Eagle. I assume it should be able to stop this. It's a 300 grain bullet, but I've never shot 3A armor with a 50 cal Desert Eagle, so I guess we'll see. That was a fireball. Holy shit, dude. That was a ring of fire. There is our entrance hole from the 50 AE. Come up close to that. That is several times larger than any other entrance hole we've had. That's close enough. Looking in the hole, I don't think it went through. It did not go through. It's hot. This vest is almost too hot to touch, which tells me the bullet is in there and it's heating it up. But there's the back face deformation. Definitely wouldn't feel good. Bob's got a little mark right there on his chest, but you can clearly see we do not have an exit hole. Well, we noticed that the slow-mo camera did not record the first 50 cal Desert Eagle shot, so we did it again. Let's see if it can stop 2 50 cal Desert Eagles. That one went down there. It's crazy when you look at the front how deep that bullet hole is. And once again, it stopped it. Very similar to the first one. They both deformed the back a little bit, but honestly not as much as I would expect. For a 300 grain bullet going that fast, that's not a crazy amount of damage at all. Typically 3A vests really expand and absorb that bullet. This one looks like it just takes it really well, and there's not quite as much deformation on the back. Interesting. Okay, I feel like this might be out of order, but next up, before we go, we're gonna try the 5.7 by 28. We have a 40 grain blue tip and a 40 grain FMJ, and in my opinion, this is the caliber that's most likely to sneak through. It's a tiny little bullet, screaming fast, and in my experience, they defeat level 3A like half the time, they sneak through this stuff. Let's see what it does. We're just gonna shoot both of them. Hopefully it stops. Okay, it was smoking. I was trying to space them out a little bit. We have one entrance hole right there, and then the other one is down here. It's swollen up just a little bit. And it stopped them. So this one over here did not even tear the fabric. It is swollen up. This one did tear the fabric, but it did not go through. So I believe that was the full metal jacket and that was the 40 grain blue tip. But it stopped both of them. Cool. All right, guys, that is the Safe Life Defense Hyperline Concealable Level 3A body armor vest. Honestly, with how thin and lightweight this thing is, I am impressed that it stopped everything it did. I know it's rated level 3A, so you would expect it to stop the 44 Magnum and calibers like that. But if you've never held one of these or seen how thin they are, you won't really know what I'm talking about. But trust me when I tell you, this is one of the thinnest and lightest bulletproof vests I've ever seen. It is actually pretty crazy. So performed perfectly, stopped everything it was supposed to and more. And I would absolutely recommend this vest. I want to thank Safe Life Defense for sending this out and letting me test it. I really appreciate them. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. As always, hit the like button for me, guys. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.